Welcome to the Books Bible Study. We are continuing with going through the scriptures, the entire Bible. Tonight we are on Exodus chapter 37. Okay, so the tabernacle is completed. At this point, all the curtains, all the structure of the tabernacle has been completed. They completed that last chapter in Exodus 36. So now we begin at this point. Verse 1, Exodus 37, verse 1. Then Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood. 2.5 cubits was its length, 1.5 cubits its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. If you would like the measurements in depth and the design in depth, you go back to chapter 25. This particular verse matches the exact instructions of chapter 25, Exodus chapter 25, verse 10. So if you would like what the actual measurements are in feet and inches, then go back to Exodus chapter 25, and I explain in detail in that chapter. Verse 2 says, he overlaid it with pure gold inside and outside, and made a molding of gold all around. Verse 3, and he cast for it 4 rings of gold to be set in its 4 corners, 2 rings on one side, and 2 rings on the other side of it. Verse 4, he made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Verse 5, and he put the poles into the rings at the sides of the ark to bear the ark. Verse 6, he also made the mercy seat of pure gold. 2.5 cubits was its length, and 1.5 cubits its width. Verse 7, he made 2 cherubim of beaten gold. He made them of one piece at the 2 ends of the mercy seat. Verse 8, 1 cherub at one end on its side, and the other cherub at the other end on that side. He made the cherubim at the 2 ends of one piece with the mercy seat. Verse 9, the cherubim spread out their wings above and covered the mercy seat with their wings. They faced one another. The faces of the cherubim were toward the mercy seat. Verse 10, he made the table of acacia wood. 2 cubits was its length, 1 cubit its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. So remember, these are the instructions that God gave Moses for the children of Israel to build the tabernacle and all the things that would be in it. This correlates, what I'm reading right now correlates with Exodus chapter 25, verse 23. So it literally goes verse for verse, the exact instruction, the exact measurement, the exact colors, whatever God said to use, the instructions that he gave Moses is what this builder is building right now. He's doing it the exact same way that Moses received the instructions from God. Verse 11 says, and he overlaid it with pure gold and made a molding of gold all around it. Verse 12, also he made a frame of a handbreadth all around it and made a molding of gold for the frame all around it. Verse 13, and he cast for it 4 rings of gold and put the rings on the 4 corners that were at its 4 legs. Verse 15, and he made the poles of acacia wood to bear the table and overlaid them with gold. And also remember, everything that they're using, this was brought to them every morning, right, by all of the children of Israel. All of these are offerings, free will offerings. The gold, the bronze, the silver, the linen, the thread, all of it, the acacia wood, all of it was given to the builders to build it. Okay. So verse 16 says, he made of pure gold the utensils which were on the table, its dishes, its cups, its bowls, and its pitchers for pouring. Verse 17, he also made the lampstand of pure gold. Of hammered work, he made the lampstand. Its shafts, its branches, its bowls, its ornamental knobs, and its flowers were of the same piece. Verse 18, and 6 branches came out of its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand out of one side, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side. Verse 19, there were 3 bowls made like almond blossoms on one branch, with an ornamental knob and a flower, and 3 bowls made like almond blossoms on the other branch, with an ornamental knob and a flower, and so for the 6 branches coming out of the lampstand. Verse 20, and on the lampstand itself were 4 bowls made like almond blossoms, each with its ornamental knob and flower. Verse 21, there was a knob under the first 2 branches of the same, a knob under the second 2 branches of the same, and a knob under the third 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches extending from it. again, it's verse by verse, instruction by instruction. You can find the exact same instruction done from, this is Exodus 37 verse 21. You can find the exact same instruction in Exodus 25 and 35. Okay. Verse 22. Their knobs and their branches were of one piece. All of it was one hammered piece of pure gold. Verse 23. And he made its 7 lamps, its wick trimmers, and its trays of pure gold. Verse 24. Of a talent of pure gold he made it with all its utensils. Verse 25. He made the incense altar of acacia wood. Its length was a cubit, and its width a cubit. It was a square, and 2 cubits was its height. Its horns were of one piece with it. Verse 26. And he overlaid it with pure gold, its top, its sides all around, and its horns. He also made for it a molding of gold all around. Verse 27. So now we're talking about the incense altar. That is in chapter 30, Exodus chapter 30, if you want the details about that, because we go in details about describing the pieces and the measurements. So if you want the detailed discussion, you will go to Exodus 25, and then now we're talking about the incense altar. Go to Exodus chapter 30 to get the detailed description. Okay. So verse 27 says he made 2 rings of gold for it under its molding by its 2 corners on both sides. It's as holders for the poles with which to bear it. Because remember, they're in the wilderness. So the tabernacle is the temporary temple as they go throughout the wilderness. The solid temple was not built until Solomon's time. So the tabernacle is the movable temple that goes with them as they go throughout the wilderness. So they've already did the tabernacle structure and the curtains. So now they're doing the incense altar at this point. Okay. So verse 28 says, and he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Verse 29, he also made the holy anointing oil and the pure incense of sweet spices according to the work of the perfumer. So the tabernacle was completed in the last chapter, Exodus 36. This chapter, he completed the ark, the mercy seat, the table, the utensils for the table, the lampstand, the holy oil, the incense, and the incense altar. So that's what happened in this chapter. So the only thing left for them to build that God instructed was the altar for the burnt offering, right? The court for outside the tabernacle, and the laver, which is where the priests would wash their hands. So those are the last 3 things that need to be built, and we will see in Exodus chapter 38 if they build that in that chapter. So we only have 3 chapters left in Exodus. As I said, if you missed Exodus 25 and Exodus 30, please go back so you have the detailed layout of what they actually built so that you understand it. As we go throughout the Bible, they're going to talk about the altar a lot. They're going to talk about the incense. They're going to talk about all these things. And so we need to have a mental picture. It keeps you interested, keeps you from getting bored. Once you know, like, the picture of what you're looking at as we go throughout the Bible and they reference these things, right? So if this is your first time, please go back, catch up on Exodus, catch up on Genesis, definitely before we head over into Leviticus, because you still need to know the historical content as well so that you can interpret what's happening, what they're saying better. Yes, the Bible teaches us things in our life as well, but there are some cultural things that will help you understand the Bible better if you know those things from the beginning, right? Because we have a completely different culture if you are not Hebrew, right? So that helps to start from the beginning so you know why they speak like this, why are they using this metaphor, right? You would have to know their culture and to get a good understanding of that. So that concludes Exodus chapter 37. Please stay with us for the last 3 chapters of Exodus. God bless.